Our money's as good as anyone's."
12 of them had stood up and threatened to punch Rimmer out, but the one who'd remained seated had told the others to sit down again.
"Do one of your tricks," Rimmer had insisted. "Come on, I'm getting married tomorrow. That one with the fish, it's brilliant."
A heck of a night. Rimmer looked at his real-time watch.
"Well, Louis, me old buckaroo," he said to the King of France, "we'd better be making tracks. Big kissy-kissy to Marie and the Dauphin. Thanks for the servant girls. See you at the wedding."
Louis XVI thanked Rimmer for the Ray-Ban sunglasses and the Sony Walkman and bade him farewell. Rimmer gingerly made his way across the lawns towards the timecopter, followed by Kennedy, Van Gogh, Einstein, and Caesar. Elvis crammed a steak in his mouth, stuffed a second in his pocket, grabbed 4 bread rolls, and followed them. The man in the air traffic control tower radioed clearance to materialize, and the timecopter bloomed into existence and shuddered to rest on the tarmac-addamed runway. The disembarkation door hinged to the ground, and the world's richest man clicked down the steps towards the waiting limo. 2 steps down, the screaming started. Hordes of teenage girls standing on the observation balcony swept forward in tides of pubescent adoration.
"Annie!"
they roared.
"We love you!"
Rimmer waved half-heartedly and shot them the thinnest of his thin smiles, before he was surrounded by a phalanx of sober-suited security guards who ushered him to the leather comfort of the limo's interior. The 8 motorcyclists twisted their throttle grips and led the cavalcade forward as it swished imperiously past passport control and the customs building and headed towards the exit. Rimmer flicked idly through the stack of magazines on the limo's mahogany table: Time, Life, and Newsweek. He noted with only mild interest that his portrait graced the cover of all 3. According to Life, he'd just been voted World's Sexiest Man, World's Best-Dressed Man, and Pipe Smoker of the Year. Rimmer smiled. He didn't even own a pipe, much less smoke one. Success breeds success, he thought. The cavalcade fought its way through the screaming fans milling around the airport exit.
"Annie! Don't marry her!"
Flattened, adoring faces squashed up against the grey smoke glass, all of them dizzy with desire for Arnold J. Rimmer. Rimmer was perfectly well aware that he was in the wrong plane of the wrong dimension of reality, and quite honestly, he didn't give 2 hoots. The limousine gently disentangled itself from the sobbing frenzy of teenage girls and silently accelerated down the freeway, followed by a shower of moist female underwear. 3 million years out in deep space, a dilapidated mining ship drifts pointlessly around in a huge, aimless circle. On board, its 4 crew members sit in a horseshoe, trapped in the ultimate computer game, a game that plugs directly into the brain and enables them to experience a world created by their own fantasies. The game is called Better Than Life, and very few ever escape its thrall. Very few can give up their own personally sculpted paradise. Sparkling lights looped from tree to tree along the main street, above an assortment of parked cars hummocked in white. A small brass band umpa-ed discordant but cheery carols in the town square, as last-minute shoppers slushed through the snow, exchanging seasonal greetings and stopping occasionally to join in a favourite carol. In the fictional town of Bedford Falls, it was Christmas Eve. But then again, in the fictional town of Bedford Falls, it was always Christmas Eve. Lister crossed the main street, his 2 sons perched on either shoulder, and headed for the toy shop. As they passed the jailhouse, Bert the cop was removing a wanted poster from the front window. The poster was yellow and gnarled, and offered a $5 reward for information leading to the arrest of Jesse James and his gang.
"About time I took this thing down,"
Bert said sheepishly. There hadn't been a single crime in Bedford Falls for over 30 years, not since that hot summer day when Mrs. Hubble was arrested for taking a 3-cent trolley ride, having paid only a 2-cent fare.